I got it in my memory bank. That's all I need. As these boys going around with the safety car for probably only one more lap. To be fair, as Suicide 5 will probably get back on the lead lap. But it's worth mentioning, strategic-wise, I started with 4 laps under a fuel last night and got home quite comfortable on fuel. So could the safety car be doing some of these boys a bit of a favour with fuel saving?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things. Do you plan on a safety car? Do you take that risk, or do you fuel the car and just not have to worry about fuel during the entire race? So it's one of those things as a personal preference. And we're hearing from Nick Magoo that apparently Stig was glitching on his screen and basically just stopped. So on his screen, he's just gone right up the back of the Stig. And that's what's caused the incident for him. So that's so unfortunate for Nick Magoo. Who knows if it was both of their connections, one side of the connection. That's not what you like to hear. And we do know the Codemasters games have an issue.
Stig is out.
Stig's out!
Has he crashed? I think he's crashed. And he's in the middle of the track and he's just stopped.
Has the same thing happened again? Maybe. Maybe it was him glitching around this time, but he's out as well.
Yeah, not sure what has happened there, but we will get another lap behind Burt Mylander at least here while they clear the Stig's car. Yeah,
that's right. And it's a bit of a shame here in Austria we don't get the Aston Martin safety car. It's still the Mercedes, but that's now in the game, and we'll see that next week. We'll probably see that next week in Silverstone.
Yeah. The sexual racing green, British racing green.
It's a great colour on that safety car. It's so good looking. I don't know if you saw the onboard from Zandvoort of it doing a lap. It sounds incredible.
Yeah. I'm a big lover of the sounds of the safety car. Following just how tough they sound for quite a few years now, and it is one of the better sounds in the paddock. Is just that what has been a Mercedes AMG just absolutely hoofing it around tracks all around the world, and it's been a privilege to listen to.
Yeah, that's right. So I think the Flourish Expires picked up a penalty from the Stig there, and he might have copped a bit of damage maybe to the rear wing or diffuser. We can't see that as they've taken visible damage out of the game. No Kraken, no damage, just taking advantage of that safety car, Flamesy. But the safety car is in this lap, Moose.
Yeah.
And we're going to get back under racing after 3 laps of the safety car. And it's going to be tabbed from Milligains. Maybe Milligains can hold on to him, but Tab looked like he had the legs here to go out in front
So
initially.
I can confirm that Flourish Expire got 2 separate 5-second penalties for colliding with the Stig as Tab has gone here. And he hasn't really caught anyone napping, to be fair. As Milligain's right behind him, Nat Hammer right behind him, and
Roscoe!
Wow!
Roscoe round!
Roscoe is right around, and that's hurt, and he's lost the entirety of that front wing.
Yeah, Roscoe just pushing a little too hard too early. A bit of cold rears, I suspect, out of turn 1. Might have taken a little bit too much of that inside curve, and round he goes. Like a merry-go-round, spinning all day long.
Yeah, absolutely, and just that little voice in the back of my head's singing the "You Spin Me Right Round, Baby." But that's terrible. Worth mentioning though, mate. Dino 420 fam is up to steal your lines, mate. He's up a gaggling of positions. As he's up 12 positions, currently running P5, as we got another yellow flag for the other Red Bull, the other Ferrari, of Rui.
Yeah, that's it. And if those are the lines of mine you're going to be stealing, I won't be too upset. Those ones don't cost too much. But Tab is trying to pull away from Milligains at the front, but not quite able to do it now. We've got on board with the Kraken. He's on that soft compound tyre, and he's going to have to get a little bit of a move on here, because he has lost positions because of this strategy, but maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. It might be dependent on a safety car, but everyone in front of the softs later in the race. So he needs to get back up to them and then he'll be on the. He's still on the same strategy effectively as everyone in front.
Yeah, quite right too. And Mr. Fury Strat there in the
That was a nice
exit
move
of
around the
4.
outside
Yes,
from the Kraken.
it was. As we're seeing him just have a little look here at OSRL Donny as well. He's got a lot more pace than these medium tyre runners at the moment. Of course, the mediums.
What his teammate did last lap around. And just look at the traction Kraken is getting with these soft compound tyre. He's just flown away from Donny out of turn 3 there. So
Yeah,
if he can get a move on,
is,
he should be able to catch the lead group here. But Milliganes and Tab, they're running away from Nuthammer.
Yeah, just in that braking zone as well. He's able to brake so much later than Darkness Abyss ahead of him. So he's got an absolute monstrous pace in those soft compound tyres at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. But the Kraken, this could work for him. It could be a masterclass. He's just got to make it work. As he goes right around the outside of Darkness Abyss, who was peeling into the pit lane. Not quite sure if he picked up any damage at all, or if he's just going for a pit stop. It's a bit of a strange time to be doing so right after a safety car on what is not too worn mediums. But the Kraken, he's flying after the guys in front.
Yeah, that he is, mate. And
here comes Fury.
Where are you? Oh, yep.
Up the inside of Donny into turn 3, but Donny's going to fight around the outside.
Flourish looks like he got a nice little exit as well, but Donny just covered him off just quickly enough to negate that, I guess. A little bit further up the grid, we're seeing absolute pressure, the back of Nathammer in the other Haas. So, yeah, the Haas boys, they're performing well, but they're definitely not having it all their own way at the moment.
All wide from Flourish. Crazy Kiwi slips up the inside, but just can't carry quite the speed that the Aston could on the wider line there at turn 6. But they're going to keep fighting it, and Crazy Kiwi might have opened the door for Kyrotonic on the new soft compound tyre, trying to emulate what Kraken has been able to do, but not quite this time. And unfortunately, he's stuck at the back of this DRS stream.
Oh, and he's at the front of it. Crazy Kiwi's out. Huge contact.
That could be a safety car, and it is a safety car, Moose.
And these the medium compound tyre runners are going to win out hugely here.
Well, they're going to win out, Moose. But the thing is, they can't take mediums again to the end. So their only options are softs or hards, and softs won't make it from here. So they're in a bit of a conundrum at this point.
Well,
it's either you commit to 2 stops from this point out, or you stay out. And if they're coming in, Kraken's going to really profit out of this.
That he will. This is exactly what Kraken and you could even say Kyrotonic really needed.
As well as Apache Franks down there in 11th. He put on the mediums, but the same principle applies for him.
Yeah, exactly right, mate. But these soft compound tyre runners, they can't get to the end from here. So every single driver, except for maybe Brad Tay, does have to box again in this race. So strategy, the chief strategists of all the teams, that's the word I'm looking for, they will be absolutely all over this, as we're not really seeing too many boys come in.
Well, a few of them did. Tab stayed out, so did Absolute, but Nuthammer, Milliganes, Dino, Flourish Expire, Kyrotonic as well, Donny, they've all called it. So this is great, mate. We're going to see different cars of all paces on different strategies.
Yeah, absolutely, and it will be from this point. It'll be who's got the who's pulled the strategic masterclass. Really, as you got the boys that have stayed out up the front, they'll only be looking to pit the once in this race. You could probably say that Kraken's going to be in maybe 4, maybe 5 laps time once we get going again. It's very difficult out there. Apache Franks can probably get another 10 or so laps once we get going out of his tyres. But it's going to be very, very difficult stuff indeed, as they'll look to go onto the soft compound tyre at the end.
Yeah, you can get about 15-ish laps, a couple laps either side out of the softs, and then probably around 21-ish, a couple laps either side out of the mediums. So it is an easy one stop here, soft to medium or medium to soft. But it's about sort of getting those tyres at the right time. And it might have been a little bit too early to go and box to meds to the end, mate. And I think that's why the Kraken didn't pull the cards to do what will be 24 laps on a medium compound tyre, just asking a little bit too much of it. So better off just staying out in the softs and being in a great position up there in P3. And the two in front are on older mediums.
Yeah, he'll definitely have a lot more pace than those around him on the restart, with possibly the exception of Apache Franks, who might just have a little more life in his tyres. But yeah, you've hit the nail on the head, mate. He'll have that tyre advantage, and he'll look to get quite a few seconds up the road before he'll have to come in and change boots.
That's it, mate. And what this has all done is it's put all of the position changes into a blender, spun it up and spat them out. So it's all over the place. Some drivers are up, some drivers are down. So like the likes of Milligains and Hammer, they're down some positions. Mr. Fury Strut, he's up 15 positions from the back of the grid. So it's hard to determine the net position of all the drivers at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the resetting lobbies, it's worth mentioning to our viewers at home that the game gives you 1 set of the hard compound tyres, 2 sets of the mediums, and 4 sets of the softs. So it's not really a tyre restricted race, as we're seeing the safety car will come in this lap. So, mate, tyres will not be the problem here. It is all down to strategy.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone has a very large selection of tyres. You have, it's only, I think, 3 sets of the softs, mate, not 4. But you have 6 sets of tyres available. So it's all up in the air. But when will Tab jump? There he goes, out of the second to last corner. Absolute goes with him. So does the Kraken. So he tried to get them napping, but couldn't quite get it on this occasion. But look at the grip advantage Kraken's got here.
Yeah, Kraken's going to have a great run up the hill here, mate. As look at that, he gets so close to Absolute, and he's pushing and wheeling Absolute up the hill, and no DRS, of course, at this point. He'll look to the outside line to try and get that cutback. Will he go around the outside? No, he won't. Contact between the two as Kraken gets out of it. And Absolute there defending for all he's worth. Of course, you must leave a car's width, and I'm not sure that he's done that. But Kraken has amazing pace in that Haas at the moment.
Excuse me, mate. Yes, he does. I just started swallowing my own tongue there, but he's got great pace. So does Milligains, mate. He's on a
I was just about to touch on Milligains.
And he's flying through the field, right on the back of Fury now, who's just tucked up behind Kraken. Yeah,
that he is, and Milligains on brand new soft compound tyres, so in theory he's got a heap more pace than everyone ahead of him, and he'll just have to pick his moment here. And does he get a little bit of a tap on that front wing? Does he do it twice? He will have a much quicker pace than Mr. Fury Strat. Of course, no DRS as I mentioned before, but he has got past Mr. Fury Strat. And Milligains here, you're seeing the grip advantage he's got even over someone on the same compound as him in Kraken ahead. And Kraken now having to defend from Milligains, who is absolutely flying, mate.
Mate, he looks so quick right now. Look at him. He's got so much traction, so much mid-corner speed. He can brake so late and right around the outside of the Kraken. And once again, he's going to have to go around the outside of turn 7. And he now has the inside at turn 8. And on the run to turn 9, he's got him. What a move from Milligains.
Has Milligains just pulled a masterstroke here, mate, as he's already on the back of Absolute. Brand new soft compound tyres, and Nat Hammer behind is flying as well on the meds.
Yes, he is, mate. That is one for the highlight reels from Milligains. That was absolutely stunning, and now he's going to get past his teammate, who's probably just going to let him pass without too much of a fight or not. Gives him a little bit of a squeeze, but up into turn 3, he can just brake so much later. Look at that.
Was it a squeeze or was it a toe? Let's be fair. That looked a lot more like a toe than a squeeze, to be fair. And
Kraken lets Nat Hammer. Kraken allows Nat Hammer past.
And
so the Haas boys working together.
Yeah, Kraken I think has to get into the box now. He tried to make it work and it hasn't worked, unfortunately for him. So if he does have a set of those medium compound tyres, I'm pretty sure they will comfortably make the end now.
Yeah, they should get to the end from here quite easy, as there's a Ferrari going slow. That is Rui once again having a hard time of it, to put it politely out there this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not sure that Milliganes will make the checkered flag on this set of tyres. So he'll have to use all the pace that he's got in those soft compound tyres at the moment, and Dino flying as well. But yeah, Milliganes will have to use every bit of those soft compound tyres to get himself as far up the road as possible.
That's it. Dino he managed to get the crack in as well. What's going to be interesting to see, will Nuthammer be able to stretch those mediums to the end of the race? If he can, he will be flying, but he's going to have the likes of Milliganes hunting him down on another set of soft tyres at the end of the race. So a safety car could play all into this, mate, but Nuthammer's just going to make the moves, and there he goes, past Absolute, who ran a little bit wide at turn 4, and Nuthammer now trying to hang on to the back of Milliganes. Yeah,
absolutely, and more importantly, tabbed out front. He's definitely being caught by Milliganes, but it's nowhere near as quickly as Milliganes has caught a few of the other drivers. Of course, Milliganes does have a penalty attached to his name, so I think it's only 3 seconds. I'll quickly wander over and have a look. It is only 3 seconds, but that we've seen less penalties play havoc in the past.
Yes, Dino gets past Absolute at turn 1, up the inside, so Dino, he's flying as well on these soft compound tyres. A man who was out of position on qualifying, and then you add the 5-place penalty, which may have been unjust, but it is what it is. But he's up in 4th now, flying with those red tyres on that red car.
Yeah, absolutely, and absolutely flying a little bit further down the grid. Apache Franks makes a lunge down the inside of Mr. Fury Strat, gets the move done for what is
Look at Darkness here.
Darkness coming through as well, and will have the inside line for good measure, but they are fighting it out between the two of them, wheel to wheel here. And I got a really bad camera angle just there. Chirotonic on the back of this as well. And it looks like Mr. Fury Strat will come into the pits on what are 19-lap-old tyres, mate.
Yeah, very worn tyres for the man there. Tabbed out in front, 20 laps on those mediums right now. He's probably praying for a safety car right about now to save his race.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll get absolutely swallowed here. As Milliganes nearly runs up the back of him. And that would have been disastrous for Milliganes, but that just shows how much pace Milliganes has at the moment, as he's nearly down the inside he dives, and Milliganes has so much pace at the moment, and he gets past for what is the lead of the race.
Yeah, that's it. Milliganes flying. Nuthammer trying to follow him through, but he could lose that connection off the back of Milliganes here.
Tab has to come in this lap, surely. Oh,
he spun it
around!
Oh, is he going to collect anyone? Oh, he gathers it up pretty nicely.
He's done very well.
He gathered up nicely, but he's lost a bit of that end plate on the right hand side. That's going to result in a wing change, which is just only going to hamper him more. As we're seeing quite a few drivers into the box right now, mate. Probably for the soft compound tyre.
Yeah, the softs will comfortably make it to the end now, you would have thought. So these boys that are currently out front, they have to get a little bit of a move on as Dino tries to go down the inside of Nuthammer at the hairpin. And it looks like he might have made it work. No, he hasn't, as Nuthammer's done the cutback and got that position back that is P2. So Dino just outbraking himself a little bit.
Yeah, Dano just got in a little bit hot there at the apex of 3 and just couldn't quite get it stopped. As Chirotonic around the outside of the Kraken, who's done 15 laps. A few of those under the safety car now, but those softs will be getting to their expiry point at this time. And the newer rubber just proving to be much faster at this point of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Nuthammer in a really good position here. Yellow flag in sector 2. It is Roscoe. So the Red Bulls really struggling here today.
Could there have been contact between the two flying bulls? They're not having a good one of it here in Austria.
One of their home races, of course.
Yes, the Red Bull Ring, and There may have been contact there between the two of them. That won't make One Slick Mofo, the Red Bull captain, happy at all.
No, not at all. And let's just hope that Adrian Newey doesn't make them pay for any of the damages that they've made out there tonight.
Yeah, that's it. What is so interesting now is Nat Hammer, mate. He is in the DRS of Miller Gaines in front. He's on mediums versus softs. He could potentially make these last to the end, but it's no guarantee. So does he either push on and commit to another stop to the softs, which I suspect Miller Gaines and Dino will also be doing, or does he try and save the tyres and make them last? It's an interesting one, and it's something he needs to be thinking about right now.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, mate. As I think Ross goes around once again, and he is, mate. It's I think it's a no-brainer that he has to push on the tyres he's got. They'll go a little bit further into the race than the two soft compound tyre boys, but if he can get them to lap 30, he's going to be on quite a good wicket at the end. But I think he's going to be too much of a boat if he tries to go to the end on them.
Yeah, it's his decision to make, and we'll wait and see. Thank you, everyone who's followed in the last 20 or so minutes. We haven't been keeping the closest eye on the chat, but hello to everyone at this point. Another man who's in a good position is Kyle Tonic. He's on that medium tyre, so maybe these two will separate the strategy. Maybe one will stay out, one will go for a pit stop. We will wait and see here, Moose, as Suicide 5's making inroads on Brad Tay, but we'll go to the front. This is the closest battle on track, and it's for the lead of the race.
Yeah, that it is. And Dino's pulled to the right. Dino is in the pits this lap, mate. For what I'm going to guess is another set of soft compound tyres. We did mention how powerful the undercut was. So is he just trying to pull a bit of a master strat here on Miller Gaines and Nat Hammer?
Yeah, that's it, mate. And one thing I hadn't thought was Nat Hammer on the softs at any point in this race? I'm not sure. And if he wasn't, he needs to change to a second tyre compound.
Nat Hammer
but he's
down
pushing
the
Miller Gaines up the hill. Not able to
He'll
get it done.
He'll get the cutback, though.
Yes, he will. And Dino, with that undercut, he could well and truly come out in front of these guys. Look where he's coming out, mate. He's come out just ahead of...
Nat Hammer has just flown past Miller Gaines for the lead of the race. Miller Gaines coming back at him. And they are wheel to wheel here, down at the base of turn 4. They'll carry it into turn 5 and 6. Miller Gaines stays ahead here with the extra traction that he's got out of those soft compound tyres. But Nat Hammer just showing how much pace he's got, and he can break that much later. And
boxing is Miller Gaines to cover off Dino. But look where Dino came out, mate. He came out just ahead of a very nice position, didn't he? Which is worked out perfectly for him. He's got clean air to push into on this outlap to try and undercut Miller Gaines and Nat Hammer here. So, will Dino be able to do it?
I think he'll undercut Miller Gaines quite comfortably here as he's just coming around the final corner now. And Miller Gaines still well and truly in the pits as he's just got going again now. So, what we'll be doing at the pit exit, and Miller Gaines has been overtaken by Dino 420 fam. Undercut successful, right. And he's lost out to Apache Franks as well.
And Fury's going to get him as well. Look at the overspeed the Alfa Romeo has. And these guys have completed their pit stop strategy, mate, which is critical. Yeah. These guys will not be pitting again.
Miller Gaines is he's really lost out there, and that could potentially hurt him to these guys ahead of him in the championship.
Fury back down the hill into turn 4 on the inside. Fury tries to hang it around the outside. He gives him enough room and enough respect. He gave him a car's width, and just that, not a millimetre more. Excellent racing there from Miller Gaines.
I'll tell you what, mate, I reckon Dino 420 fam has just pulled an absolute masterstroke. Everyone ahead of him is either going to be very
who's
slow.
That? It's a Red Bull.
Oh, wow.
But Nat Hammer into the box. He's going to get undercut, and he's going to fall even further back in this straight.
Surely that's a safety
5-6 cars long.
That Red Bull is not moving.
It's not at the moment, just a localised yellow. But Nat Hammer's going to go right at the back of this train now.
Yeah, that he is. I've just got half an eye on this Red Bull, and no one around him, so there will be nothing doing. But yeah, VSR Roscoe as he will come into the box for what I'm assuming is just going to be a front
Apache
wing
goes
change.
wide. Here comes Milligains. He's got to get this move done to stay in touch with Dino. But critically, Dino has no penalties at this stage of the race as Roscoe repires it in the pit lane. He's had enough. But on the inside, Milligains makes another move on the second lap in a row at turn 4.
Yeah, mate, and look at where Nat Hammer's come out. He was running P2, came in for a new set of boots, and he is well down. He's even behind Absolute. So the undercut, very, very powerful indeed here.
Yeah, definitely. So I know for a fact that Kyotonic has been on two Kyo compounds. He currently has 10.5 seconds to Dino 420 fam. He is carrying 3 seconds of penalties. So he needs to stay. He's got a 7-second lead over Dino 420 fam effectively. Can he hold on to it for the end of the race?
Yeah, Flourish expire with 8 seconds worth of penalties as
Milligains
well.
and Dino! Up the hill, on the inside goes Milligains. And he is past Dino.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a critical pass there for Milligains. He did come out, as we mentioned, behind Apache Franks and behind Dino. So, but Milligains, just with the amount of drive that he has got and the skill level, let's be honest, he has got past both of those drivers, and he's in a really good position now, and will look to win this race and extend his championship lead.
Yeah, definitely. His nearest title rival, Mr. Fury Strat, he also doesn't have a penalty, which could promote him a couple places at the flag. We will wait and see. This train of cars will close the 3 in front. Brad Tay's only a few seconds up the road. And then there's a larger gap to Flourish Expire and Kyotonic as Milligain sets the fastest lap of the race. These are the penalties. And 8 seconds is really going to hurt Flourish come the checkered flag here, mate.
Yeah, it is, because it would bring him out behind Absolute as Dino looks to go around the outside of Milligains and has not made it work. Milligains defending very, very nicely there.
Yes, he is, but here comes Dino. He's got a second bite of the cherry on the DRS. He's closing in, but not quite enough. He looks to the outside line, but not challenging on this occasion.
Great car positioning.
I think he knows that Milligains has slightly better pace than him, so maybe he's looking to follow him through, make use of his pace, and take him on pens at the end. Who knows? But they need to wheel in Kyotonic out in front.
Yeah, that they do, mate, and they've done it to the tune of about half a second in this lap alone. So these
That's
two
not
are
going to be enough, though, Moose.
Well, on penalties.
Milligains picks up another penalty.
Yeah, huge there for Milligains as he just ran a little bit wide. I had a little look through. Dino's only got the one warning, mate. So Dino with a lot left in the tank here. As we're seeing a yellow flag in Sector 3 for a Ferrari of Rui.
So, it's currently 5 seconds.
He's crashed into the pit wall.
Fury and Apache going at it, but it's currently 5 seconds for Kyotonic, so they need to catch him in about 8/10 a lap. So we'll see if they can do it. They might be able to. Look at the Nat Hammer trying to take advantage of Fury going up the inside and just barges his way past Apache Franks.
Darkness Abyss off at turn 3 as well, mate.
Yes, he is down in 14th position now. The man in the Alpine. Dino following Milligains closely, they've caught Brad Tay now.
Yeah. And
it is very important, especially for Dino, that they pass him now.
Well, that's exactly right, mate. With that huge penalty now for Milligains, Dino just has to stay within touching distance of Milligains, as they're both going to get past Brad Tay at some point, let's be honest. And Flourish Expire.
They could both do it here, mate.
Yeah, I think
one goes to the right. Dino holds back. But he looks up the inside as well, trying to follow his friend Milligains through.
Great move from
these guys,
both men.
Yes, they are. These guys are friends, Milligains and Dino 420 fam. They're working together at the moment. But Dino, he's challenging now this time down to turn 4. But he needs to get the inside line down there. The outside's not going to work on someone like Milligains, who's got great pace.
Rui again taking a trip through the
he's
gravel.
He's got to be careful. Kyotonic's coming. The whole train is coming. He's just got to be careful on the rejoin. He tries to get going. Here comes the Aston
Whoa!
Martin.
He's on the
And
racing
here comes the lead
line.
train. He's going to be right on the racing line for the final corner. Yeah, sketchy stuff.
Well, mate, if he has any more trips into the gravel, the Ferrari boys will be able to sell that amount of gravel back to Bunnings for a very nice profit to cover damage costs.
I don't know about you, mate, but Brad Tay is lagging like a European connection right now. He's everywhere.
Oh dear. So they're well and truly catching Flourish Expire, who's currently running P2, but does have 8 seconds worth of pens, as we previously mentioned. There's another yellow flag there for Brad Tay.
Brad Tay. I think he was pulling off to let everyone past, aware of his connection issues, as Nat Hammer slips up the inside of Fury, up into 5th place, but Fury critically has no penalty, so we'll see where he ends up. Now, Kyotonic is going to be hoping that Flourish Expire can do something for him and hold up these guys just for at least maybe one lap. And that might be the difference. Dino has 3 seconds to gain, and he has 4 laps to do it, so you'd think he'd be able to do it. But we've seen stranger things, Moose.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's doing Kyotonic the world of good out in front. He's only got 3 seconds worth of pens at the moment, a 5-second advantage over these 3 guys chasing him down. As Milligan's all over the back of Flourish Expire there, and he will get past him. So this is where Milligan's really has to put his foot down. Because
Dino needs to get past now.
Yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't get it quite done this time. And if Flourish holds on just for this one lap, this could be the deciding factor in this race. But Dino is pushing him down the hill. And he's going to take the inside line. And on much, much fresher softs, you'd think he'd be able to get it done. But Flourish isn't going to let him have it easily. He tries to fight, but he just doesn't quite have the grip.
No,
it's 18-lap-old softs for Flourish. They are old, mate. They are very, very old. They're on the verge of puncture territory now.
Yeah, they if they were any older, they'd be that lady in the Titanic, of course. I'm surprised he didn't come in to change them, but he cannot come in now. He's well and truly missed the opportunity there. The man that hasn't lost the opportunity, Dino 420 fam. He's currently 1 second off the race win. And they are well and truly catching Kyotonic out front to the tune of 1.2 seconds on that lap alone, mate.
Oh, Nat Hammer making the move on Flourish Expire up the hill. Not even a contest, just the traction out of turn number 1.
All Dino has to do here to get the race win is hang on to the back of Milligan's. He doesn't even have to overtake him, which is really going to... it's going to be a masterstroke here from Dino, who started P17 in this race.
Yeah, that's it, mate. So, Dino, he's only got 8 tenths to go to take the win here, and he is just closing that gap ever more. And with 2 laps to do it, he will get it done, barring any sort of incident, a spin or the sorts. And I may have just put the curse on him, but I think he can handle it.
Yeah, that he can, and what he has to really avoid now is
no, Fury picks up a pen!
Yellow flags once again for Rui, who definitely is struggling out there today.
They're all over the road at turn 1. Kraken and Absolute are fighting hard here, mate.
Yeah,
Into the back goes Absolute! And he's lost a huge part of that front wing.
Yeah, Mr. Fury Strat got a massive bit of oversteer as well coming out of that turn 3 corner. As Kraken looks to dive down the inside of Flourish Expire. Had he got the move done? You bet he has. As Flourish Expire going nowhere but backwards on those 20 lap old now soft compound tyres, and they have hit the cliff well and truly now. Oh, Fury Strat's around, and I guess he's out.
He's still in the race.
Oh, he's still in the race, but he's going to come out well down the pack.
Yes, he spun it again, mate, in the gravel. So he's
I'll tell
just
you
going to
what,
tumble down the order.
Roscoe's out somewhere on track.
He retired in pit lane about 10 laps ago, mate.
Oh.
well, yeah, I don't blame you, mate. We didn't see much of him today.
There's action
in
of
this
plenty.
feature race.
I just missed it.
Mate, they've been busy elsewhere, mate. But Dino and Milligains are now really wheeling in Kyotonic, who's on that old set of medium tyres. So to be expected. But at this stage, Kyotonic's going to hold on to second, and that's going to be an absolute stellar drive from him in the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's what he's all about here at the moment. As we're seeing that penalties are definitely going to play the part here. Can Milligains, I guess, for a spiritual victory, get around him for the on-track race win? It doesn't look like that'll be the case, as I was seeing. Rui has just retired in the pit lane. So these boys will come across the line now. Kyrotonic will take the checkered flag first. Milligain second, but Dino 420 fam will win this race. Kyrotonic will go to second. Nat Hammer promotes himself up into third. Milligains will end up fourth with his penalties. Kraken down there in fifth. Tabbed after penalties will come up into sixth. Flourish Expire into seventh. Suicide 5 with a very clean race. He'll end up in eighth after penalties. OSRL Donny in ninth after penalties. Apache Franks, he's had a good showing as well in P10. Absolute P11. Brad Tate P12. Fury Strap P13. Darkness Abyss P14. Johnny M4, although I reckon he's quite a few laps down, does come home for a point. Of course, top 15 getting points in the OSRL.
There we go, mate. So, Dino 420 fam from... Well, him and Kyrotonic from near the back of the field, mate, take it to the podium, and joined by Nat Hammer.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And to our viewers at home, don't forget to get your vote in for the driver of the day. You guys do have your say in the OSRL. So get your votes in. We will be joined momentarily by the driver of the day and the 3 podium sitters. But for me, mate, our race winner is the driver of the day for mine.
Yep, I agree with you. It's either him or Kyrotonic, and well, you've got to give it to the one who won the race, and well, what I'm hearing didn't cause that grid penalty incident. So
yeah,
Dino 420 fam, congratulations to you, my friend. That is one hell of a drive from 17th to 1st. Kyrotonic from 16th comes home to 2nd, and then it's Nat Hammer. And Milligains just off of the podium, but takes fastest lap, and is going to get some good points tonight. It's then Tabs Flow, Suicide 5, Donny and Apache in the top 10. And then where Fury could have ended up in all of that without a penalty and that spin, who knows? He definitely probably would have been on the podium. But Moose, there was action aplenty across all laps, 36 in the feature, 18 in the sprint. What a treat it was tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And we've seen a handful of drivers not finish in this feature race. The drivers to not finish, Rui, who we saw a few times really struggling out there. Roscoe, exactly the same scenario, really struggling. Crazy Kiwi, the Stig, Nick Magoo, they've all not finished, some by no fault of their own. But it just proves just how technical that this track. It looks very simple, but it can catch a lot of drivers out.
Yeah, definitely. It's you think it's straightforward, but it's not really, and it rewards people being clean, and that's exactly what Dino did today. He kept it clean, no penalties from the back of the grid, and that was rewarded with a win. And there was some great driving in between. But you can kick off the interviews with Nat Hammer, who came home in P3.
No worries. So, Nat Hammer, P3 for yourself. After the penalties today, you've kept it, well, relatively clean. It's good points for the Haas team tonight as well. Talk us through your version of events.
Well, the sprint race was a little disappointing. Had probably a little bit too little on the rear wing, and I had a spin. But I was able to get points, and we got Kraken get P1, so it's good to get team points. And the feature race, I was happy to be back up the front and not have to fight through too much of the field. And then it was interesting when the safety car came out. I don't know if it was probably the second one. I had teammates jump on. I had my rivals jump on the softs, and I jumped on the mediums. And it did dividends towards the end of the stint, but it's the should I have jumped on the softs, got in front, been in front on the pits, but no, it was a good race, and it was good to get on the podium.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just mentioned just before the reverse grid order in that sprint race. A fan, not a fan? How was it starting? In mid-pack scenario.
I think I started on the wrong tyre. I started on the softs, thinking I could jump some people, not realising that everyone around me is pretty damn quick as well. Bit chaotic being in the midfield, not gonna lie. But it's so worth it for the feature race to qualify well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, mate, you have qualified well. You finished P3 after penalties. Great points here for the Haas boys tonight. Well done to yourself.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Nat, if you're still here, if we could just get your opinion on the sprint format.
I think it would only really work with tracks like Austria, tracks that you can get overtaking. It's not just a train. No, it was fun, but definitely only maybe 2 or 3 times a season.
Yeah, no worries, mate. So, thank you once again. And we now move on to Kyotonic, mate, from 16th on the grid all the way up into 2nd. You took it on track, but that penalty unfortunately demoted you. But you can't be too upset at that one.
No, it was fun. The nights didn't start too well. I spun in qualifying for the sprint race, and trying to get the car turned around. The game reset me onto track, and Dino came around for the final corner and cleaned me up. So that wasn't a great start to the night. But in the sprint race, I think I started 11th and got myself up to 5th. I had a great race with Apache and Kiwi. It was probably the most fun race I've had on this game. So I'm quite happy that I got 5th in that one. And yeah, as you said, the feature race got that 5 grid penalty for the mishap in quali. And Dino got the jump on me, and I was able to use my strategy to work myself back up. And that last safety car worked to my strategy, and I was able to survive on those mediums and bring home a podium.
Yeah, that's it, mate. It almost seemed like that crash between you and Dino somehow worked out for you with that penalty in the feature race. Obviously, you both put in very good drives in both races, as you were saying. And if you go back and watch the stream, you'll be on the screens quite a lot, especially for that sprint race. It was an excellent battle between you, Kiwi, and Apache. But congratulations, mate, on your debut here in OSRL, P5 and P2. Very strong showing, and hopefully we'll be seeing you back out on track in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So if you guys want to have me back and I'm available, I'm keen for it.
No worries, mate. A pleasure. And now, the 5-lap king himself, Mr. Dino 420 fam, P1 in the feature race. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How was it out there? I'm sure you were driving a little bit on anger after that 5-place penalty, and you were flying out there.
Yeah, well, as we all saw, qualifying didn't really go my way. Got a bit of damage on first corner of the sprint race, so just trying to hold out till had to go on to the softs for that. But dominoes just all fell into place for me in the feature. Strategy worked out well with the safety car and all.
Well, mate, we did touch on it throughout the feature race there that you took the gamble to go with about 10 laps to go onto that soft compound tyre, undercut Milligains very, very well. Unfortunately, he did get back past you, but with penalties, it didn't really play a part. But flying on those brand new soft compound tyres at the end.
Yeah. Well, I knew Hamish had the pace on me, so I really just let him go and just use DRS to try and catch up to the rest of the fellas up in front. Luckily, it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out indeed, mate. And it kind of shows that qualifying isn't everything, especially around a track like Austria. But how do you think the sprint format worked tonight?
Yeah, no, it was pretty fun. I think it would have been better, in my opinion, if it fucking worked out in my favour a little bit more, but we won't go into that.
Yeah, that's
But
it.
no, it was fun.
It really prioritises qualifying inside the top 10. If you're inside it, it doesn't really matter where inside of it. You have a good opportunity in both races, but if you're outside, that's when it really stings.
Yeah, that's it.
And also for people who haven't sort of done an 18-minute qualifying session as well, it could be a bit tricky for them, but that's all part of the challenge. So congratulations on tonight, Dino. A great performance from the back of the grid.
Well, cheers, guys. I was looking forward to next week as well.
That's it, mate. Have a good one.
You too.
Well, Moose, that's all the racing done, and 2 different race winners, and I don't think we had a repeat podium sitter tonight.
No, we haven't, and we're just seeing a brand new viewer in the chat at the moment, Biggles Giggles. So g'day to you. Bit of a shame that you've never seen the league before, but you're here now, and welcome to the OSRL. Mate, we've seen action aplenty tonight. There was not a second where I could have even got up and get a drink tonight. The action was just that thick and fast from qualifying all the way through what was the sprint race and into the feature race tonight. It has been action aplenty, and you know what? I'm going to take a massive breath.
Yeah, you do that, and I'll just quickly thank all the people that have followed. We didn't really get to call it out during the race because there was just action every single lap. But Biggles Giggles, David Leong, Olive Dog, iFoggy, Prawn Toast, Telsky. We've got 2U, CPI Black Phoenix, and Rush Race Community. Everyone, thanks guys for the follows. I hope you enjoyed the action, Biggles. You're a little bit late to the party tonight. Unfortunately, we're just wrapping things up. But we're back on live tomorrow night for Tier 1. They're having their first go at the sprint format around the Red Bull Ring once again. And just a reminder to everyone who will be tuning in then, this is the format for... This is the format for it. It's a short qualifying followed by a short 25% sprint race with that top 10 from quali reverse, and then we go into the feature race, the 50%er. The grid set from quali full points. It's half points for the sprint race. But Moose, that worked. That was just another treat to watch tonight, to commentate to, and it was as always, it was a pleasure to do it with you, mate. And that's all I've got to say until next week. So you can sign off the viewers while I pick the raid for tonight's stream.
No worries at all. So it has been an absolute pleasure sitting alongside you in the box as well tonight, mate. We do it every Tuesday night. Every Wednesday night, the two of us, and we have great fun doing it. To all of our viewers, those that have recently followed, and on those return viewers, we thank each and every one of you for joining us here tonight. So until next time, from everyone at OSRL, thank you for joining us, and stay safe. Have a good night.
Yes, thanks, guys.
Oh, fuck. Oh, stop it. You did not just put us onto this guy. Is this the dancing guy?
Nah.
Oh.
He's not streaming. It's such a shame. Yeah, we just...
Oh,